Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Have you ever looked at your kitchen, looked at your garage, looked in your car, looked in your office, found stuff just not organized? Well, about 8 months ago, flooded out the house. There was so much stuff in the garage, and still is, by the way, that recently thought, I gotta figure this out. So, I believe that there is a way to make things simple and be able to maintain them. I'd like to share that with you tonight. In the process of trying to resolve some of the challenges with the organization, I got into some books, got into some CDs, and what I discovered is that there are different approaches. For example, on television, you have TV shows where they run into a person's house, pull everything out onto the lawn, put it into a pile called tossing. There's some good and bad things about the different approaches. Let's take a look at what I think is a great approach. It's from Clear and Simple Solutions. It's a trademarked organization, and their approach is called STACKS. It's an approach to get to easy maintenance and organization. STACKS. It's an acronym. Sort, toss, assign, contain, keep it up, and simplify. Now, there's multiple elements to each of those. It's not our goal tonight to discuss that. But maybe just some of the key points. For example, when beginning a project and beginning a sort, keep in mind that you've got time. There's always going to be time investment, so shoot for 1 to 2 hours. Just plan on 1 to 2 hours sorting. Doesn't matter what it is, if it's a small project. Just think 1 to 2 hours. If you're thinking about tackling the garage, look for a couple days and solicit help. In the sort, all you're going to do is make piles of like items, not make any decisions, and put like with like. Keep it small. Toss. This is where it becomes challenging for so many people. We're going to take one pile and we're going to organize that pile and decide if we're going to toss, right? What happens to me and what happens to a lot of people is that there's an emotional connection, okay? That's the picture that I got for Christmas a few years ago. That's Ryan's. This guy showed up in the garage. Stacy said, we can't toss that. That's Waylon's. Well, it's been there for 3 years. Waylon's not 4 anymore. He's 7. I don't think he wants it anymore. This is a toss. Okay. So ask yourself, do you love it? Do you use it? Does it serve you? And do you have room for it? Okay. Do not force yourself to throw anything away. Next, after we've tossed, we've got a single pile of like items. Now we want to assign. In an exercise that I did with the office, I had an action pile, a storage pile, and a reading pile. Now, if it's an office, it's one thing. If it's at home, well, then we start to begin to think about, well, what are we going to do? We can actually create space. We can create a space for reading. For example, a nice place next to a window, well lit. So assigning is more than just placing something into an area. It's beyond. There's exercises. You can stand in a room, turn around with your eyes closed, and visualize what you might want to think it's going to look like. After assign, contain. Contain's tough because the first thing I thought of was money. I'm going to start buying shelves, I'm going to start buying containers. It's a little bit much. What helped me was to walk through stores. Just walk through Home Depot and just look. No stress, no pressure to purchase anything right there. Just look. Don't tell anybody, but I did the exercise of turning around and visualizing. Still working on it, but it does help. And after we have developed some type of container system, then we want to keep it up. It's very simple for us to fall into that situation where we're just holding on to things. Determine that you're going to set a time limit on things that are coming in and slowly work towards letting them go. And of course, simplification is the last one. Simplify would be creating a maintenance schedule for yourself after you've gone through some of the struggles. For me, and even small projects were very difficult, and many of us struggle with this because they have obviously television programs that are trying to help people. There is help available, even if it's something simple. Now, real quick, this is a true story. Right before the meeting tonight, I told my wife that I wasn't speaking tonight. She called me up, she says, somebody broke into the garage. SpongeBob's gone. She thought SpongeBob was gone, and she wanted to make sure I didn't throw it away. So when you're tossing, consider other people. But you can get there. I'm working my way to there, and we can all make it easy to maintain and get organized. Thank you.